The effects of cement and pavement, now it can kill you. A guy is walking on top of a bridge, and the bridge is suspended over some rail tracks. Well, every bridge has a weight limit, and this one has just been breached because there are several semi-trucks on top of it. The cement crumbles, and the semi-trucks and the person falls down. And the people inside the semi-trucks collide with the train that is coming right under the bridge at that very moment. And explosions happen. So the drivers of the semi-trucks die, and the person who was on the bridge, he either dies with the explosions as well, or he falls down later on, and he dies with impact of the train. Very bloody, very messy. Also, a girl walking on a 6-foot gate in a park. The gate is embedded in cement, and the cement was not set all the way. It crumbles under her weight, and the spiked gate falls on top of her and pins her to the ground. Nearby park goers help suspend the gate so that it doesn't completely crush her, but she dies anyways at the hospital because of a head injury that she sustained while... And you're driving around the mountain, very narrow, and there's a lot of dips and bumps in the road, and a particularly large one causes your car to drive into the rail, and you go flying through the windshield, or your car completely goes through the rail, and you fall off the side of the mountain. You probably hit a tree. A dip in the road filled with mud. Your car runs through it, and the mud reaches so high that it covers your entire windshield. You are now essentially blind, and you run into a tree. Airbag fails to deploy. Guy is coming around from his truck, and the cement block was not completely fastened to the truck. The guy comes around the truck, and the cement block falls on top of him and crushes him. A toddler may come up and eat setting pavement or cement, which will poison you. Not only will it poison you, but if it dries in your throat, well, then you're going to be coughing and spewing up blood, and it's going to clog your esophagus. Suffocation. The rocks on my hill are very dangerous. It's a very, very steep hill, and it's covered in loose stones and pebbles, and if you try and run down, you'll trip and fall. Well, here's something. A guy is running down my hill, and he trips, and he falls, and he hits his head. He will roll into 3 things. 1, he'll roll all the way down, and he'll fall into the creek at the end, and it's raining, so the creek is pretty full, and he drowns because he's KO'd. Second of all, he may roll and then stop into the road, where a car will come up and crush him. Squish. Thirdly, he won't roll all that far. He'll be KO'd, right? And it's raining, and it's very cold. So he's KO'd into the night. He gets hypothermia. Hypothermia is when your body starts dying because you have a very, very, very decreased or increased core temperature. Hypothermia will give you insanity. Any level of insanity. It will also give you decreased heart rate. It'll lower your sugars, and it will lower your breathing rate as well. So the guy wakes up. He's insane. He doesn't know where he is. So he goes into the forest, starts to paradoxical undress himself, which is another symptom of hypothermia. And it's basically where you get undressed. So he stripped himself, and he's running around naked in the woods. By this time, liver disease will start to set into his body. So he's getting even colder because he doesn't have clothes on. The final stages of hypothermia set in, which is terminal burrowing. Terminal burrowing is where you put yourself in a relatively small spot that you probably would not have been able to fit in before, such as under the sink, or a bed, or, a cabinet. So he goes and he finds a fallen log, and he pushes himself under the crevice of that log. The log is very old, and it breaks on top of him. So the log pins him to the ground, and it suffocates him, so he's laying there dead. Termites come and eat his body. Coyotes and vultures come, and they start to tear at his limbs, and you get maggots. 8 stories, and everybody's dead because of pavement. Dear God, there's a lot of ways to die by cement.